Happy Tuesday, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Daily Chaos. I appreciate everyone that is making it out this evening. This is a new series we are doing at 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. At least Monday through Friday as much as possible. You know how that goes. You can get a little busy once in a while. And we're still having our shows on the weekend. Mr. Rage Theo will be joining me when possible for these shows because these are a little bit earlier on the West Coast than they are out here on the East Coast. This is 7 p.m. my time. This is 4 o'clock around there. So at any rate, again, thank you for making it out. Sincerely appreciate it. And, you know, honestly, at the end of the day, let's, I guess, what's the best way to say it? But, so let's not waste a whole heck of a lot of time. Number one, first and foremost, Las Cruces, thank you so much for making it out. You are religiously the first to be here every single time. So hello, New Mexico. Welcome, and thank you for joining as always. So let's take a little bit of a peep at, you know, what it is that is joining conversationally today. We're going to get into a little bit of DC news. We're going to talk a little bit of Something is Killing the Children. We're going to get a little bit into The Mandalorian. I don't know. I feel personally there's got to be some Fantastic Four news coming, so we might talk a little bit on that. And, you know, at the end of the day, there's always enough room for a little bit of drama and conversation. So, you know, let's talk about it. Mike, how's it going, brother? Good seeing you, my man. Blue Lantern is good seeing you too, brother. Sincerely appreciate you guys making it out. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about specifically. But without further ado, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on. Number one, tomorrow is obviously New Comic Book Day, so there's tons of books coming out. You know, if it's me, in my mind, I have a couple of different perspectives on some of the things that are coming out. I'm not a huge Marvel and DC fan. I'm not going to lie when it comes to New Comic Book Day releases, but that doesn't mean I can't get once in a while a little excited about some of the books that are coming out. David, good to see you, brother. Hey. Thanks for joining. I see, you know, in front of me this week, not a whole heck of a lot as far as what I'm super pumped to be reading. I think at the end of the day, some of the things I would probably look at first here on the list, and please correct me if I am wrong, feel free to do so. I think the first things I would probably be peeking at and getting interested in, I'm really interested in Skull and Bones. This is a Dark Horse comic. It is coming out tomorrow. This is going to be a tie-in to the new Ubisoft game coming out, Skull and Bones. And in all honesty, this Savage Storm sounds pretty dope. So I'm definitely pumped about that. I know for those that do like Dark Horse, hopefully that's going to be an interesting one. Cosmic Ghost Rider's back. So this is always fun. You know, just looking at some of the amazing covers we're going to be getting out here. You've got the Stegman Virgin here. I think that this is probably one of the dopest covers that's coming out, in my opinion. But we get a little bit of some of the rehashing of some of the old covers that we've seen before. I do love this Cosmic Ghost Rider as well. That is a pretty hot cover as far as things go. And also, last but not least, I think that this one's pretty freaking fly as well. But yes, there's going to be the Roche variant. I'm excited to see a brand new Cosmic Ghost Rider series jumping out. I've always enjoyed this Frank Castle kind of concept. And new character Bounty Hunter coming sounds cool. I'm going to rely on Funhouse here to give me a little bit more information on that. But in all honesty, this just looks like a really cool series. Also on that note, I do think in my opinion as well, for other books that are coming out tomorrow, I do know as well there is Hollow's Eve. That's going to be a solo series coming out tomorrow, and I am excited about that one as well from Marvel, you know. But let's talk a little bit more about what's actually coming. And we've heard a lot about some of the things going on at DC. We've heard a lot about some of the situation going on with Marvel. And one of the things I want to bring up is the concern around Into the Spider-Verse 2. And I don't know if you guys have heard this. This is I'm not even sure if it's actually on the direct right now. Let's check out MCU news. When I looked this up and I started reading about it, there was some concern. There was some concern that there was a lot of the director deciding to make changes in the story as the actual animation was progressing. Everything was pulling into it. There was a lot of delays. And apparently these consistent changes were causing massive amounts of delays and costing tons of extra money to Sony to roll this out. So there has been a little bit, here we go. Sony Spider-Verse Into the Spider-Verse 2 had been apparently plagued with some problems. And, it's hard to follow up a movie like Into the Spider-Verse. And I say that because it was one of the few movies that hit on every cylinder of introducing new characters that were beloved to many people in the franchise. I've always enjoyed Miles Morales. I'm a big, huge Spider-Gwen fan. I love Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Ham's cool, never really my thing, but whatever. I felt vested and I felt excited about these characters. And my concern is we now have hundreds of Spider characters. And I feel like it's made, number one, an unnecessary and ridiculous boom in some of the comics that have just these random Spider characters. But sequels are really hard to follow up on. And there's a lot of energy that goes into building a universe and building a story and things of that nature. And when I saw the preview, I won't lie, I felt let down. When I watched the first Into the Spider-Verse 2, when I saw that promo, I won't lie, I had the most meh vibes of any Marvel project I had had in a while. And I hope I am wrong, but when I saw the first video, the first movie, the first Spider-Verse movie, I was pumped with the promo. I was pumped with every part and piece that I was fed. But when I saw this, I saw them trying to bring across a scene of heart. And then all of a sudden it just went into this breakneck. Everybody's mad. Everybody's chasing down Miles and doing all these things. And in my mind, it's too much. It's too much. And I really feel like while it's wonderful fan service to get all of these different Spider characters out there, I don't think it had to happen in one movie. So I am concerned about Into the Spider-Verse 2. I feel like there's going to be way too much going on, way too much to be delivered, and I don't necessarily feel like I'm going to get the opportunity to connect with any of these people in this next film. I really don't. I really, really, really don't. So, Funhouse, again, good to see you, brother. Hit that like button, please, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It is overwhelming, brother. Cole's Comics and Claims, local Grand Rapidian. Is it Rapidian? I don't know. I'm still new to the area, but another good local guy here as well with a great channel and lots of cool content. Thank you for making it out, brother. I'm not going to get off on a tangent about Nuggets tonight. If I get off on a tangent about Nuggets, it's strictly because I'm super hungry and I didn't have dinner yet. So I probably should have rethought that. It's very hard to spec on those trailers 100%. Posh, I'm going to agree to disagree with you on there. I think Spider-Verse 1 was probably, it's not saying much, but it was definitely the most, the best animated Marvel film ever, in my opinion. And at the same time too, I would rank it up there as one of the top three Spider-Man movies to me, in my opinion. I loved it. I loved it. So I'm concerned, and that's the reason why I really enjoyed the first film. And for me, this entire situation is discerning with them making changes in the middle of production based on the more of the director's whims, because the Spider-Verse is very well established in comics. We've had tons of time and tons of books devoted to fleshing a lot of these characters out in a single I don't know. I don't want to say single like series of years, but over many periods of times and different issues, we've had great times to flesh this character and series of characters out. And in my mind right now, I feel very lost with all the ones we're getting. Sorry, I got confused there for a moment because this clown keeps coming at me again. Posh, killing me, son. But I'm going to agree to disagree, brother. I'm going to agree to disagree. But yeah, so I have concerns about Into the Spider-Verse too. If anybody else does as well, sound off. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm full of crap. If you disagree, please let me know. But from what I have seen so far, there is just too much going on in this movie for me to feel personally vested. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. So it looks like we've got Pattinson's Batman gains 2 surprising cast members. Let's get into a little bit of DC here. So Alfred is back in the Batman 2. We see that here, and it looks like Serkis said to GQ that he doesn't have a burning desire to play anymore. But what he wants to do is get back to the stage. But it looks like he's going to make it back, which is really great. Who is the second one? I don't see. Well, I guess maybe Alfred is back in Batman 2. So that's the big news. That was clickbait. Was that clickbait? I feel like that was clickbait. That's killing me. Perry, how's it going, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. I saw you there on TikTok and I saw you on Instagram. Thank you for following. Thank you for all of the comments. Sincerely appreciated, my friend. Good afternoon. It is good to see you. Not sure what time it is where you're at, but it's definitely hitting evening here. So that being the case, let's get a little bit more into some of the DC news and rumors. So what we also have here is the synopsis reference to Superman. This came out today. And the news is that when they were describing Ezra Miller's Flash, Barry Allen goes into this parallel universe and he's this alternate reality. He's here, and now he is looking for help from Superman. He's got this other Batman. He's getting out of retirement to give him a hand. We all know that this is the Michael Keaton Batman. But they say he's looking for Superman, and instead he finds somebody else. We know that's Kara Zor-El, 100%. But what the movie references is that he's looking for somebody. He's looking for a specific person. Who's he looking for? He's looking for Superman. Are they not going to reference him in this film at all? Because we heard that Gunn had them cut from the movie. We had Henry Cavill Superman, supposedly, this is the rumor, Henry Cavill Superman and Gal Gadot's actual Wonder Woman removed from this version of the film. And I find this extremely disheartening, and I understand if they're trying to move away from characters, but these were pivotal characters in this current DC universe that we're moving out of, and they were supposedly just supposed to be short cameos via the Speed Force, right? Ezra's Barry. I hate to say it, but I don't even like to call Barry whatever Ezra as the actor is right now. I don't like to let him be that guy. But at any rate, this version of the universe, as Barry's going through the Speed Force, he's supposed to actually meet or see these versions of Henry Cavill's Superman and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. And I say that this is disappointing with their removal. It's not disappointing. It's absolute bullshit with their removal. And I say that because these two or people that helped make DC even something viable for Gunn to eventually come into. Wonder Woman was probably the best DC movie in the recent last few years. I can say for a fact I loved the Wonder Woman first film. We don't talk about Wonder Woman 84 on this show. As far as I'm concerned, it never existed. But I have concerns about them completely ripping these characters out of these films. And I say that because, not just because they were pivotal, but even if we're moving to these other new casts, these new members, whatever it may be, to really bring closure to the previous universe, you have to eventually recognize the fact that these people existed there. And I don't feel like there's any respect being given, and especially Gunn too. Gunn said DC didn't give Henry Cavill any respect for what he was doing, and they didn't respect him as an actor or what he could bring to that role over these last few years in the DCU. And I feel like he is actually just giving more of a disservice by completely cutting him. Will this be something we see in the movie still? Maybe they'll change their mind. Maybe they decided, okay, we're going to give everybody that last look at the character. We're going to let them have their last little hurrah and wave goodbye to everybody as they go. But if not, I'm really hoping it's in like a director's cut or some out, basically the cut scenes in the movie to be released, hopefully when it comes out on digital and video. So, please DC, let us have a little bit of time. That'd be really nice. Perry, your same time zone as me, so I appreciate it, brother. Mikey, good to see you, my man. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, and that was terrible news about the Aquaman screening. The first Aquaman wasn't good. No, to me, it was mid. The first Aquaman movie was mid. It was Black Panther underwater. And considering I had seen Black Panther and I loved and enjoyed Black Panther, the Aquaman was just okay. I think it skated on the fact it was Jason Momoa and he was just so hot at the time, in my opinion. Vin, my man, brother, good to always see you. And DC was like, let's keep but get rid of the good guys. Yeah, let's keep let's get rid of the good guys. Yeah, that was very, very, very disappointing. Andy Muschietti is a phenomenal director. Very, very, very true. But in this case, though, it sounds like, in speaking about Aquaman, James Wan is in a bit of trouble. For those that haven't paid attention or wasn't here for the conversation yesterday when we talked about it, it sounds like the movie was so bad people were like walking out, and those that like weathered the entire thing in a test screening said it was the worst DC movie they've ever seen. Now is this because of whatever role Amber Heard played in the movie up until that point? It very likely could be. It could be because of the scenes that they had to cut with her because of all of the blowback and the crap that went on with anyways, I'm not going to get into it. I don't even want to mention their names on here because it was just a bunch of crap, but no pun intended. I'm very pleased to know that she's been cut from it, but if it was at the cost of the entire film and it being I don't know, just absolutely unbearable as what it sounds to be, I'm saddened. I'm saddened by that, because supposedly The Flash, which we're looking at right here, right there, I don't know, I'm in a mirror mode here with this, so that movie right there is where this entire rewrite begins, and it's supposed to be ending with Aquaman 3. And if that's the case, and this movie sucks as bad as it does, would DC and Gunn just say, skip Aquaman 3 and we're just going to wrap it however it is? I don't know. But honestly, the ending can't come soon enough in my mind. I would like to move on. This is something that we got to get past with DC and just kind of get to whatever the new things are that's coming. I'm not in the excitement mode for what it is that the Flash is going to be delivering overall, outside of the fact I get Michael Keaton back as Batman. That is 100% the only thing I'm here for. Yeah, Aquaman meets Captain Jack Sparrow, boom, movie of the year. That would be quite entertaining. I would agree with you on that, Perry. DC is disappointing for sure, but the sick tick news, and that's the news we're all here for. Yes, Posh, I do agree with that. And I actually heard some misinformation about this on some other shows the other day. There was comments made on another show that I was watching on YouTube, and they were from friends. I'm a big Comic Man Andy fan. He's close to me here in Michigan, and the Beyond Wednesdays crew is a group of dope individuals. I enjoy them. Brian's a good friend. Visited the show, but one of the questions that came up, and what Andy talked about, was he didn't know how long Stranger Things was going to be going on Netflix for them to devote money and resources to something like Something is Killing the Children. And the cool thing is that this is the last coming season of Stranger Things. This is supposedly going to take place a few years later, when the kids are actually as old as they really are. They're not going to keep on playing these young, these basically 5-10 year almost versions of themselves any longer. This is something that you run into a lot when you have child actors in roles and you can only make a show every 2 years. So this is going to be the last season of Stranger Things. And I do believe that while the creators of Dark made a great series, I know 1899 wasn't everyone's cup of tea. I never finished it. I won't lie. I'm still interested to see this property coming to fruition, and I really do believe Netflix is going to follow through. And I say that because of the fervor of this series, and there's not many comic book series currently in any form of adaptation that still has the vigor in the continual storytelling that Something is Killing the Children is. There are a lot of very loyal fans that keep coming back for every single issue. We're well into the 20s. We've got our spin-offs. We've got our one-shots. There's lots of things being built out in this Something is Killing the Children Tinian-verse, Tiny-verse, excuse me. And I really, really, really do believe that this is a safe going to happen, and it's going to continue to move on through Netflix. I know there's been budget cuts at a lot of different places, but I feel like Something is Killing the Children is going to be a 100% staple and going forward necessity for Netflix to really begin to do well, because they do well with that horror concept. This is going to be a young woman dealing with kids that can see these monsters. This probably has the best energy for a replacement to something like Stranger Things outside of Wednesday that Netflix has. So yes, Posh, I do agree with that. Anya Taylor-Joy as Erica is amazing. I love her range as an actress. I have been I was blown away. I loved her in New Mutants. She was probably the coolest thing about that entire show. Movie. The Queen's Gambit was probably what knocked it out of the park for me. I did see her in The Menu, which was crazy, absolutely crazy movie. She's just a very dynamic actress, and I think she could definitely bring the energy that Erica Slaughter needs in that kind of tortured soul, wrestling with things situation. I think that she would be the right actress to get that roll across. Mikey, nothing was good about the New Mutants. I can understand that, but Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, I'll end the show here, right? Just absolute fade to black. I'm gone. I could end it on that, and I would feel confident that I had ended it on a positive note, because she's freaking amazing. And Perry, you've got it right. You've got it right. Queen's Gambit was fire. The only Netflix show you've rewatched. Wow, damn, that is good. That is good. I was a big Wednesday fan, and I'm a big. Okay, I have a teenage daughter. Okay, so let's just put it out there for family viewing time, things like that. Wednesday, Stranger Things, Enola Holmes, things like that. Big hits in the Nerd King home. All right, those are 100% hits. But in my mind, Anna Taylor Joy would be the best Erica Slaughter. I would agree. She would be the best Erica Slaughter. Oscar Isaac is my hero, but he was terrible in X-Men Apocalypse. I would agree with that. And I don't think he was that great in Moon Knight. Well, okay, was he not great in Moon Knight, or was Moon Knight just shit? Let's just call a spade a spade. I don't think Moon Knight was a great movie, series, Disney Plus show, whatever it was. I mean, they tried to basically do way too much with the dynamic range of Oscar Isaac, and I feel like it totally just, the wheels fell off on Moon Knight, probably in the third episode to me. I know a lot of people were fans, but I just didn't care for it. I lost all momentum to want to finish the show until they had all come out, and I felt like I could binge it and then be a member of the comic book community again and continue to talk on it. But after the third episode, I was pretty much tapped out. So, still with the news and talking about those things, coming out tonight at 3 a.m. Eastern time, midnight, out on, what is it, the left coast, the west coast, Mandalorian season 3. I'm hype for this show. I know my cohort, my other half of the show, Theo, is concerned, and that's just mostly because of the inconsistency with Star Wars that we've had. Right, we've had Book of Boba, wasn't good. That wasn't the right energy. Right, what didn't move in, didn't move in the way we wanted it to. Yeah, Perry gets me. Nigel, good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for coming out. It's going to be, in my mind, all coming down to the villain that we end up having in the series. And maybe I try to live too much in a hole, and I don't like to get myself too much into spoilers. I avoid the Star Wars channels. I do. I love Star Wars, and it wasn't until I started doing this kind of stuff that I actually had to force myself to stop watching the Star Wars channels, because I feel like every single time I find out something too much that kind of just is, it's a spoiler thing, man. I hate spoilers. I like enjoying something for the first time. I am concerned about the Flash movie because I feel like everything is going to get spoiled up until it comes out, right? There's going to be a leak on A, a leak on B. There's going to be that crap galore all over, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, whatever it is. So-and-so's definitely dead. Here's a picture of the dead raccoon by the side of the road. We're going to get stuff like that. But with Star Wars, there are nothing but mass amounts of channels devoted to picking apart every last piece. I love being a Star Wars fan, but the fandom can be a little toxic and a little overanalyzing. So I have to find myself very once in a while avoiding those channels. And in this case, good to see you, Posh. In this case, on this show, I maybe have avoided some spoilers, but I do believe and I do know the insistence and the fact that she is such an integral part of this show. Katie Sackhoff is an amazing actress. I love her very much. I've been a big, huge fan of every role she has played, but in all honesty, I'm a little concerned about her role in the show, and that's just because Bo-Katan has been such a bee in the Star Wars universe these last few years since we've been getting content. Since go do adult stuff, Mikey. It was good seeing you. Thank you for making it out too. Appreciate you, homie. Bo-Katan has been integral in the Clone Wars for being a pain in the ass. Then she was a pain in the ass in Rebels, and then she continued to be a pain in the ass in The Mandalorian. She's only ever out for herself. the lack of my knowledge, perhaps, of a greater villain in this next series, I feel like it's because she is going to end up being that villain. I feel like these are all going to be series of traps or whatever it is that she's baiting Jin Jarden to come in, the Mandalorian, to come to help whatever is going on in Mandalore, going down into the caves to try and, basically make himself Mandalorian again for taking off his helmet too many dang times. In my mindset, this is all a trap for her to get her hands on that Darksaber. She wants that Darksaber more than anything. Newsstand, I'm expecting a lot from Ahsoka. I'm maybe expecting too much from Ahsoka because I was such a Clone Wars fan, but I hope maybe she makes an appearance in The Mandalorian. I mean, this has been conversation about, can we do Star Wars without lightsabers? It was proven with Andor. The crowd reminded me yesterday. It is absolutely doable, and they can do great things without lightsabers. But at the end of the day, everybody's been hungry for Ahsoka Tano, and that show I do have great hopes for. My only concern about that show is the fact that it involves the cast of Rebels, and we're going to have to go look for Ezra. And I know at the end of Rebels, we had Sabine taken off with Ahsoka to go in search of him, but at the end of the day, it had a really weird ending, man. Rebels was a show that made me cry when I watched Ahsoka die. In that last fight scene with Anakin, and you could see him see her again. I won't lie. I cried. Grown man crying. But I'm trying not to look too far ahead. I've got great hopes for Ahsoka, but speaking about The Mandalorian, we've got ourselves a good 8 episodes. This is going to be going on through April 19th, which is going to be a time when I'm actually going to be in Las Vegas. So maybe I can try and catch that with a few of my friends from Into the West. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, we have a star now. We have a star that doesn't like to be in his helmet very much. Is dangerous. It's he complains like he can only see this much whenever he's around and on the set. As an actor, he's fantastic, 100%. I don't take anything away from him, but like my friends have said, we want to see the Mandalorian. What makes him cool is the helmet. I mean, we didn't fall in love with Boba Fett because of the 3 lines he had in the movies. It was just because he looked like such a freaking badass, right? And the Mandalorian does too. And he's had so much more time for us to fall in love with his character. I don't know. Guys. I don't know how much longer we're going to get the Mandalorian. I know Favreau said that it'll end when it's supposed to end. And I trust Favreau and I trust Filoni. But as far as what's going on out there in the world, I don't know how much longer we're going to keep on getting the Mandalorian and what would come from that. I am a little concerned about that, but I am so pumped about this series. I hope every single episode doesn't end like the way it felt it did each episode, where I do. You always want more. You want to be able to jump into that next season. But boy, I feel like the Disney Plus series episodes are short. Is anybody else feeling that either? I feel like the Disney Plus series episodes are absolutely massively short. And when it comes to these ones that we're going to be getting from The Mandalorian and all the episodes that we have here, I really hope that we're getting episodes that are going to be trending more, at least in the high 40s, low 50s at its lowest. I would love to see some hour-long episodes. I really enjoy that, but boy, all the Disney Plus programming just seems way too damn short. The worst was She-Hulk, the absolute worst. And I know everybody's got an opinion on She-Hulk, but at the end of the day, I didn't hate it. I didn't really like what? We have to watch the next episode of She-Hulk. Most of my gripe with She-Hulk was just that each episode was so ridiculously short. I didn't have to care. I mean, I got like 15 minutes of episode, and then I waited for the intro and the outro and maybe a little preview to the next week. That was it. That wasn't a show. That was just like a series of shorts. So in my mind, Disney could do better in serving the fans actually something that's palatable each week that leaves them a little bit full. Yes, we always want more, but boy, I'm definitely concerned about the runtime of these shows and how short they are. How short they are. All right. So on that same note too, Fantastic Four rumors getting back to Marvel, right? So let's take a little bit of the conversation to Marvel right now. And in my mind, there's lots of questions, lots of things coming up. We've got Venom 3 is starting to get underway. Never been a big Venom fan. Is there a lot of symbiote fans in here? Any symbiote fans? Anybody can actually raise their hand, because I'm not seeing them. I didn't enjoy the last Venom movie, especially that Let There Be Carnage was abysmal. Did not enjoy that whatsoever. What I am interested in is some news on the Fantastic Four, and I'm wondering if we're going to see anything on it in here. I'm not seeing it right off the bat, so I'll stop the share for a moment. My question is, when it comes to the Fantastic Four, is how much longer are we got to wait for a casting announcement? I feel like DC had its time. I feel like Marvel usually tries to do some kind of clout kick and steal of the spotlight every single time DC makes an announcement or wants to go out and do something. They're always right there. But I feel like we're waiting on a Fantastic Four announcement still. And the casting is number one of the things I'm most interested in finding out. But it sounds like it's definitely confirmed that, like Spider-Man Homecoming, we met a Peter Parker already established. He's already Spider-Man. We didn't have to go through an origin story, which I appreciate. I don't want to do an origin story with the Fantastic Four. But it looks like we're jumping all the way into the Fantastic Four having kids. I mean, Franklin Richards is an amazing, super powerful character in Marvel Comics. The Richards family is obviously the first family, but I don't feel like we had to take it that literal with this first introduction to get the Fantastic Four in the MCU. I don't feel like the first family actually needs to have kids already. I would like to see a little bit of conceptual banter between them. I don't need to see them form for the first time. I don't need to see how they get their powers. We've done it. We've established it. It's happened. Gammas and peeing out in space and everything. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know if I need to see Sue, worrying about the kids when she's running around, and I don't need to see Reed be the absent husband and father that he always seems to be in any version. Reed's just always so damn smart. He's never thinking about his family. I don't know if I need that in a Marvel movie. So I'm hoping that rumor is actually not true. And if it is, man, I hope I don't have to look at the kids through the movie, because I feel like I'm getting enough of that in Disney Plus. I would like Marvel to get to some stakes again. And start to see a little bit of carnage, a little bit of death. We missed all of that. There was not a lot of stakes in Quantumania. Did I enjoy Quantumania? Yes. Do I think that there was much room for improvement? Yes. And in this case, though, when it comes to casting the Fantastic Four, they have to approach it differently. They have to be careful. I feel like the casting news, though, is definitely due. But from a standpoint of storytelling and story writing, I don't know if them having kids is the way. Anybody feel free to chime in, let me know. But I'm not I'm I'm not extremely excited. I'm not extremely excited. So we've got some interesting updates when it comes to the X-Men 97 reboot. So let's take a look at that here real quick. It looks like we've got a article here on the direct. Let's take a look. It's promising release date update. I would really like to see X-Men 97 hopefully come to fruition sometime soon. I know as of right now, there's probably nobody that would like to see it more than this guy. Nobody wants to see X-Men 97 happen more than this guy. Theo, good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining and jumping in. Appreciate it.
How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. It is a Tuesday, and we're talking a little bit about the rumors. And one of them here was the X-Men 97 supposedly getting a update. And Marvel's facing lots of changes. You know, Blade getting a full reset. Armor Wars got turned into a movie. Major delays for Avengers Secret Wars. Echo and probably Ironheart, if not totally tossed, at least back into 2024. And the Marvels got bumped back as well. We see a lot of delays happening with Marvel, but it looks like X-Men 97 is still moving forward despite reports Marvel Studio working to spread out releases and giving projects more post-production. X-Men 97 is still tentatively scheduled to debut on Disney Plus this fall. So that's good news, right? I mean, I know in your mind, I know you're dying to get any mutants back in back on the spotlight and back on the conversation again. But I don't know. What are your current thoughts on hearing this update, Theo?
I mean, I'm still pretty excited for it, but
It's still a
back on
cartoon.
what back on what he. I'm still not over Quantumania. I'm still not over Quantumania, dude.
Yeah, we talked about that a
And
little
I'm not
bit.
gonna lie. I think the official numbers came out today or yesterday, but
Mhm.
it's like one of the worst performing Marvel movies. I think it's like right there with Eternals.
I mean, when it comes to fall off, but when it comes to money made, it was like the third highest for a 4-day grossing weekend. Um, but it was the drop off from week 1 to week 2 that ranked it with the Eternals for
I mean, I
premieres,
heard
right?
Cocaine Bear almost beat it.
Yeah, it was in second place. It was in second place. Yeah, yeah. But what floated it was China, India, Korea, all the other countries. You know, the movie made its money back. The movie made its money back. It's domestic U.S. where the big drop off occurred, from what I've understood in looking at those numbers. And you know, let's take a look. Maybe there's some more news on it. But when it comes to debated major deaths, writer breaks silence over negative reaction. Yeah, I heard they were pretty beside themselves. Um, it looks like I don't see a lot of it on here. Let's go to comicbook.com. Maybe they've got some more information on what you're talking about there. Let's see here. Pedro Pascal begins season 2 filming. I don't know. I'm not seeing it on here right off the bat. Let me know if you see something I don't. Let's go to movies.
No, I don't see anything.
No. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Defends divisive ending. Star addresses fan response, concept, and more. See, I'm not. It's the worst drop off. It's the second worst drop off. It's not the money that it made worldwide and domestically, but it went essentially from 104 million in the first 4 days to then a 69.6 drop off. That's what killed this movie, was the drop off that it came into. But yeah, Black Widow previously had the biggest box office drop of 67.8, but it was also released the same day on Disney Plus. Next closest was 67.7 with Thor: Love and Thunder. But it rivals Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. It's not as it was worse than that, and Ang Lee's Hulk at 69.7. So those are pretty big and steep drop offs. But total domestically over the weekend, 32.2 million compared to the box office open of just a little over $8 million to Cocaine Bear. That is crazy. But what's crazy though too is even add them together. That is a ridiculous, like, even those two don't even show up for half of the people that just went to go see Quantumania the week before. The week before, they had $109 million spent at the box office. And
Well, you want to know why?
Why?
Well, because this was the first movie of the new phase. Everyone had faith in it because everyone at Marvel, including Kevin Feige, has been hyping up fucking Kang to be Thanos' fucking replacement.
Yes,
And that's
I
exactly
can
not
agree
the
with that with
case.
fans, but I can take it one step farther though too, in that Ant-Man has been the one easy family staple that people can continually go to see and that people can watch and have never had to know a lot about all the other bullshit going on in Marvel. This is
But don't
the first
forget, now
Ant-Man
movie
that
tickets are
wasn't.
more expensive too. They should be making more money.
Well, they should be, but movies aren't in general. That's the movie industry as a whole, right? I mean, we want it to, but nobody goes to see movies as much as they used to. That's just the facts.
Tell that to Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry,
Tom's
COVID's
got
over now. We
one
don't really
big
have those
thing. No,
excuses
you can't say
anymore.
Top Gun 2, dude. That took 20 years to make. I mean, how many Mission Impossible movies
That
does
is
this
the
idiot keep
highest
pumping
grossing
out?
movie of all time, except now Avatar 2 tickets place.
And
Pretty
Endgame.
sure.
No, it's not. It's not even in the
I think
top 3,
Top
dude.
Gun beat Endgame, dude.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
We
It
we
hasn't
let's
topped
look.
Endgame.
Let's look. Let's look.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna look.
hasn't topped Endgame yet. No. Top Gun 2 has not beaten them in those numbers. Top Gun 2 is 100% a good movie, but that took 20, 30 years to make. Avatar 2 is still smoking its ass. Avatar 2 is getting close to
It better
breaking
though.
in
That's the thing.
Titanic.
It
You
better
know,
smoke it. They had all the time in the world to make that movie.
that movie's ridiculously long. That movie's been ridiculously overdue. He's been working on that for way too long. At least this movie came out recently with Top Gun. But Top Gun, as far as being Tom Cruise, it wasn't the Tom Cruise vehicle that delivered it because he's been underperforming
Oh
with
yeah,
all these
it's
Mission
hard to touch
Impossible
Endgame.
movies.
Endgame's at 2.7 billion.
Yeah, it's never gonna catch it. It'll never
Although
catch
Top
it.
Gun, hey, just saying Top Gun 1.4 billion.
Yeah, still a great freaking movie, but it's not. It
I
can't
don't know if
beat
it's
those.
1.4 billion great. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's that great.
I think people went for that strictly out of nostalgia. That was a 100% nostalgia grab. I mean, I
Well,
know
and
a
that
lot
was
of
a
people that
theater movie. You don't want to watch that in your living room.
that's an IMAX movie, man.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the longest IMAX releases. I think I don't even know if Avatar 2 stayed in IMAX as long as Top Gun 2 did. Because it was just that it was 100% built to be that experience. I think in my mind Ant-Man 3 really failed in
Oh, there you
delivering a
go.
movie that was built just to live by itself. I It wasn't its own movie. Ant-Man was successful built on the fact that it was its own movie every single time. It didn't need to have the freaking Avengers show up or 20 other different characters. It was just Ant-Man and the Wasp. That was it. They were rolling deep with what, their comedic troupe of ex-cons. That's the way it was, which was basically replaced by Cassie. That was the biggest oversight in that movie. But trying to kick off the MCU was too much of a vehicle for them to rely on the Ant-Man Series 4. And I think that families were checked out. I think that as soon as the fans saw it and didn't enjoy it, they had no reason to go back and see it again. And the reviews that came in for all of those super fans that would normally take their family back to see something like Ant-Man, it wasn't there. So, I mean, it's not that they were going to see something else. Nobody freaking went. Nobody went. I mean, that's it does speak a lot that it fell off so deep and that it came so close to Cocaine Bear. But when you look at the fact of what was still spent at the box office didn't even total what was done for Ant-Man just in that one weekend before. I mean, a lot of people didn't go back to the movies. It wasn't people choosing Quantumania over anything else. It was people saying nah to it totally. And to me, that's the problem with Marvel right now. It is so big. There's so much to have to know and learn that nobody can invest the time. So all of us fans go the first weekend, and then after that, nobody wants to do the homework. So they just skip it. I feel like this is a testament to Marvel still doing too much of a connected universe. It should have stopped with Endgame, gone with something completely new, killed everybody, bring back whatever. It should have ended. And now here we are. I don't know, fruits of the labor. There was too much. There was too much going on for people to want to come in and check in for that second week. That's my feelings on it. Was it a bad movie? No. Was it great? No. It was
I don't know. I just think
mid-tier.
when you have like Michael Douglas, Bill Murray,
Michelle
you know,
Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer, you know, well-regarded, well-skilled actors and actresses, and you don't really put them in a role that utilizes that. I mean, I think Michael Douglas spent most of the time being a background prop. How many
Oh yeah.
lines did he have?
No, I agree.
I just think
Well,
it's
I
a
mean,
waste. It's kind of like Thor,
he spent more
Love and
time
Thunder. That
talking to
was
the ants.
everyone's major complaint with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
You didn't properly utilize a fantastic fucking actor.
No.
Am I
No.
glitching?
Yeah, you're glitching right now. It's a
What
little
the heck?
it's a little weird.
Hold on.
I think it's
Well,
I think it's your connections seeming fuzzy. I mean, they should have spent this last season seeding the arc. Lefteros, that's a very good observation. They shouldn't have tried to put it all on this Ant-Man story, and they shouldn't have spent so much time making the calm before the storm, the relative peace in the MCU. They shouldn't have spent so much time trying to establish that. They should have spent that time establishing Kang coming rather than just throwing him in here right now. You look gorgeous, my friend. You're back. You're back.
okay, just
Domo
making sure.
arigato, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, I like what Lefteros said here, Theo. I don't know if you see it, but they should have been seeding the arc much more earlier over this last period. You know, I get the fact that we needed to establish there was a multiverse, but they didn't do a very good job of building up the same way they did Thanos. To have Kang show up in this movie and be threatening. And that was something you and especially Jeff was very upset about the last few weeks when we talked about it. You know, like I didn't feel the connection. I get it.
I almost feel like we could have gotten this instead of Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we would have been just fine.
You mean quantum? You mean just a
Like
Kang
when we
movie in
got
general?
Ant-Man and the Wasp, instead we got Quantumania.
Oh, you mean that far back? You mean with
That
Ghost and
far back. Like
you mean
literally, what
Ant
is
Man
that? Right
2?
after the snap? So that's right after Infinity War.
Yeah. I didn't really. Ant Man and the Wasp was meh.
You see what I'm saying? That was
It's a
just
mid
like
movie at
a
best.
necessary stepping stone. That could have been a Quantumania for sure.
I think Marvel screwed up with this entire phase. Um, this
And
entire
I know they
phase.
wanted to tie it into like Loki and they want to milk their Disney Plus TV show. Everyone keeps forgetting about that. There's a reason that this movie came out when it did, you know.
Yeah. No, I
Don't
agree.
forget Loki season 2 is literally about to come out.
Yeah, I think what in May, June, something like that.
Took like 2 months.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'll pull up real quick. I'll look. I'll cheat. It's
Yeah,
on
Young
the
Aztec, what's up, bro? And he's totally right. He
it's
says
on the
Kevin
cheat sheet.
Feige said this movie is a big deal. It's a game changer. but he didn't feel like it was, and the actual game changer was Loki season one. Yeah, I agree with that. Loki season one, that's when the first time they met Kang, that's when they killed Kang, that's when the multiverse fell into disarray. That should have probably been the beginning of Quantumania. That should have been the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
Was a compressed Loki season one, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine the
Honestly,
conversation
Loki
we'd be
season
having right
one,
now if Loki season one and Quantumania came together and had a baby, and that was the movie we were watching.
I think Loki season one was good. I enjoyed Loki season one. Loki season one did a better job of establishing
It was
Kang
one
than,
of the better shows that came
yeah,
out.
it
But
was.
that's what I'm saying. That show probably should have been a movie.
Well, I mean, a lot of things could have.
Especially if
A
you're
lot of them were
introducing
supposed to be.
Kang, bro, who's
Yeah,
supposed to be the next Thanos.
yeah. Loki was amazing. I agree on that. And season one was good. I enjoyed those shows. But at the same time too, I think they missed the boat 100% though on believing that Quantumania was going to be the delivery vehicle and just spending the little bit of time that he did on Loki. Not everybody got to see Disney Plus and got to see Loki. Not everybody had, 8, 10, 12 hours of watching episodes to establish, you know, this Kang character for the general masses. And so the very hyper intense version that we got in Quantumania fell flat because nobody understood the weight he brought. And we're going to see probably I'm maybe I'm crazy but maybe I'm hopeful Loki season 2 maybe that will fix it. Maybe that will fix it because honestly it did the best job of explaining what was coming with Kang and why these characters were necessary and how much damage they could do with having a multiverse. Loki was better at that than even Doctor Strange was, as well. Maybe the best hope for Disney to get their stuff together with Marvel is going to be this Loki season 2, which is a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on it because this entire last season of movies and TV shows outside of for me it was definitely like Shang-Chi, Spider-Man 3, Loki, and I enjoyed Hawkeye. Those were the few things that I actually enjoyed and enjoyed watching. Outside of that, I mean Black Panther 2, I left feeling okay, but I didn't really care.
You know what people
Um
keep forgetting to mention?
what?
And I haven't met a single person that hasn't liked it, and that is the Werewolf by Night.
I keep on forgetting to mention that
You
because it
got to
feels like it
watch
was
that.
so long
You watched
ago.
that, right?
Yeah, I watched that the night you guys went out. Remember, I was stayed back in the hotel and I watched that, and I enjoyed it. I remember
Yeah, that was
telling you
such a
guys
good
like,
show.
I remember telling you guys like, you guys need to see this. It was a great show, and you guys like, well, you should have been out with us, and I realized I should have been out with you.
Like they need more stuff. Well, yeah, you definitely should have came out. You could have watched that whenever, but they need more shows like that, dude.
They do. They should have been focusing on specials, in my opinion. If
Like
if
Moon Knight
Marvel
should have been
focused on
like
that,
that, you know? Like a little bit more dark, a little bit more like you don't know if this is continuity or not.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Lefteros has a couple comments here. Didn't seem to universally like that either, but like Feige, but I do think people gave him too much credit. A lot of actual creators from Infinity War arc moved on. Maybe,
AKA the Russo brothers.
well, not just the Russo brothers, but there was a lot of other people that had their hands in the pot as well. There's a lot of great movies that just weren't the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers had Infinity War, and they had the only other thing they had was Winter Soldier, right?
Oh, just the two probably
Oh yeah,
most
two of the
revered
most dramatic
movies
ones.
out of
Two of
all
the
the
most dramatic
phases.
ones, but I still enjoyed like things like Guardians of the Galaxy and other things too. But now Gunn's gone. Gunn was really removed even before that. Just after two, Disney kind of showed him the boot after the Twitter
I'm
thing.
kind of okay with that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. They're going too funny. They're trying too hard to be too funny in the MCU.
Oh, you mean but like Taika, yeah, I
Like
see
just
that.
in general, like with Taika and James Gunn. I mean, just they need to tone it down. We could use a little bit more seriousness. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Well, I mean, it's definitely got to evolve somewhere.
I mean, that's why
It's definitely got to
people
evolve
always go
somewhere.
back and talk about Winter Soldier or some, or you know what I mean. People always mention Infinity War because it had that serious real world tone. It was like one of the first Marvel movies that you were like, oh, this looks like superheroes in real life, even though I
Oh
know
yeah,
it's not real, but that
Josh
feels real,
Joss Whedon, who made the first Avengers, him too, gone.
right?
A lot of attention at DC. Yeah, I'd agree with
Who
that.
did Civil War?
Civil War was the Russo brothers. It was Civil War.
Mm,
No, Civil War wasn't the Russo brothers. Civil War. Was it
I'm gonna
Civil
look.
War?
I'm gonna
It
look
might
real
have
quick.
been. Maybe it was. Maybe it was because I was thinking of Winter Soldier when you said that the first time. Yeah, check it out. Was it the
Oh yeah, it
Russos?
was the Russo brothers.
Okay.
See, enough said.
Yeah. Well, them being gone.
Bring
Okay.
back the Russo brothers.
So maybe that's really the bigger
Winter
issue. Maybe it
Soldier, Civil
was.
War, Infinity War. Enough said.
Were we giving too much credit to Feige, or maybe did Feige get a little bit too big on his
The
britches,
Russos, man.
and maybe he maybe he's just given too much away to Taikas and Guns and all these other directors that have been coming in. Yeah, people don't talk about that enough, Lefteros. You're right. I say it's a very good observation.
Oh, so there's one more movie that we left out too.
What's that?
So not only did they do Winter Soldier, not only did they do Civil War, and not only did they do Infinity War, they also did Endgame.
Well, yeah. I meant when I said
But
Infinity
I mean
War, I
like
meant more
Endgame
that.
though, you know, like
Well, that's
fuck,
what I mean.
dude.
Like that's where Marvel should have ended. Marvel should have
Yeah,
ended there.
bro. They fucked that up. They
Yeah,
they
they
should
should have
have
ended
dumped
it.
the Brinks trunks on their front lawn, not Hugh Jackman's.
Yeah, yeah, they should have let that go. I think
Fuck,
who
dude.
did Spider Man? Who did the third one? That was good. So was
No
Shang
Way Home?
Chi. Yeah, who did No Way Home and Shang Chi? I liked
Let's
those
see.
ones.
No Way
And
Home.
and Coogler's been
So
good.
that was
Coogler's
John
been good.
Watts,
John Watts. Okay. All right.
and he had help from Sam Raimi,
Yeah. Well,
who co-produced it.
yeah, but that was just because it was going to have so much to do with the multiverse of madness thing. I felt like they had to continue it a little bit.
And Shang-Chi was Destin Crenton, somebody I've never heard of, but he did a pretty good job.
No, he did a pretty good job. He did a good
But he did a
job.
good job with Shang-Chi, like that doesn't mean he would do a good job with like the Avengers.
Oh no. I'm not disagreeing with that. But yeah. Russo brothers are the secret sauce. Sometimes people get a little high on their success and they let other people take control, and it doesn't feel the same. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm wondering if I'm wondering if him giving so much latitude to the Russos made it so easy for him to put so much faith in these other directors that we've had very few people deliver since then. I mean, outside of Coogler, which I think is a great director, I do feel like Black Panther was a beautiful movie. It looked good. I think that there was some writing issues, but I wouldn't necessarily put that on Coogler. And that was
It
mostly
was
just
the
on the development.
details.
It was those details. But that was still one of the more tolerable things to come out of the MCU over the last few years, right? So in my mind,
And
maybe
look at this. No, bring back the Russos. I don't care.
well,
No.
supposedly the Russos are doing something. They are getting involved again with Disney, but I think it's in Star Wars.
Why? No.
I think
Come
it's
on,
in Star
man. They're
Wars.
just they're just waving a bunch of lightsabers around. Can we calm this down?
Well, though the Russos also have a big hand in something else that we're not super fans
They're
of.
not
So I
even
mean, they're
promoting
not
The
they're not
Mandalorian. Doesn't that
imperfect.
come out tonight?
Yeah, yeah. We
Why
talked about
have
that
we
a little bit.
seen or heard nothing from them about The Mandalorian?
Oh, you mean Disney?
I
I've
haven't
seen
seen it. Have you?
advertisements all
You seen
over.
advert? Okay, I haven't seen any advertisements lately. Like
I've
just
seen
normally when I was
advertisements.
just surfing stuff and looking, there was Ant-Man puking all over my screen. I'm just saying lately,
Oh no,
haven't seen too much
I've seen it on
Mandalorian.
Instagram, on YouTube. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it pretty fast and
Okay.
furious. I would say though. I
They
would
might
say
be
though,
hiding that from me then.
since I was saying since though, especially Ant Man, just because of keeping the focus on where Disney wants to keep it. They're gonna
This is
keep
the
it
one that
always
ruined
together.
Game of Thrones. Was that the Russo brothers?
No, no, no. That was, oh God, who did that? They were given a Star Wars show, but I think it was taken back. Game of Thrones directors. I can't remember their name.
I'm looking right now. Mark Moyd, Alex Graves,
No, that doesn't sound right. Create the writers maybe. Writers.
Alan Taylor.
Don't put that evil on them. No, whatever that was.
Is
It
that David Benoff and DB West?
Duff. Yeah, yeah. It was those two. It was them. Yes.
I had a feeling because I'm looking at an article from Vox.com. It says David Benoff and DB West, head writers and showrunners of Game of Thrones, won't be helming a new trilogy in the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So Game of Thrones was so freaking bad, everyone. So bad
It was
that
so bad they put out an article saying, "Don't worry, they will not be in charge of Star
right?
Wars."
They were supposed to get the High Republic, Theo. They're supposed to get like Old Republic, High Republic,
That's
that kind
funny.
of era. That old, like, it was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect for Game of Thrones. And then the one season they got to write, because Martin hadn't finished the books yet. So they got to write the ending according to what Martin was going to get to at the end. And they did such a shite job that even Star Wars is just like, no, 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 bring it back. You don't get that. You don't get that. And yeah, they got curbed. They got curbed badly, badly. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, don't put that evil on them. I agree, Lefteros. What does it say here? The same people that did a great job adapting the whole show fell apart without source material. Exactly. If there wasn't the right source material and you let these guys go out on their own, they're not going to pull it. They're not going to pull it. Yet they shot themselves in the foot. It's crazy. I have never seen people go from darlings of the industry in one season to the tank that happened on that show. I've never seen
I think
anyone
Brie
do
Larson
it.
would have something to say about that.
No, I'm talking about creators, like writers. I'm not talking about actors, actresses. Like she's a thing.
Speaking of
I
which,
mean, Ezra
who's looking
Miller.
forward to the Marvels?
You want to talk about a tank? Ezra Miller. Brie Larson ain't got shit on Ezra Miller.
This is true.
Okay.
This is true.
There's like
You know,
Brie
by the way, they
Larson.
did test screenings today for the Marvels, and it did so bad they're doing reshoots.
I didn't hear that.
That was in an article that I read today.
Oh no, I didn't
And
hear
they
that.
delayed, I believe they delayed it again, didn't they? I think
I
they might
heard
have
that it
delayed it.
was delayed the first time, but that was like a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. They did a test screening with an audience, I think last night or today, and bombed.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see anything. Let me pull it up. The Marvels.
And you know what most people were saying too, the success on the first movie, even though critics and fans didn't like the first movie, it made a shit ton of movie. But you want to know why that is?
Why?
And I think it's the same reason that's happening with Quantum Mania. That's because the execs at Marvel were telling you to go see it, just like the execs from Marvel were telling you to go see Captain Marvel, because that came out right after Infinity War and right before Endgame. So you kind of needed to see the end credit scenes in there to kind of get how she's linked to the whole scenario.
So, I'm on the Marvel spoilers website. First link I clicked on though. Okay, so
Okay.
I mean, you might need to give me a different link. But viewer Anon says to Peter Campisi, they were asked by a couple different press people for it. It's got a lot of shares, 221 comments. Marvel only tests internally, so it's hard to get info. But from the leaks, from the places that have come out, they just said it's okay. The Marvels is okay. Not that it wasn't Aquaman 3.
Yeah, I'll put something in the
Aquaman 2.
private chat for you for a
All right,
link there.
let me pull that up. Comicsgate.
This came out today.
Tested poorly with audiences. I don't know. That's disappointing. But
So there you go.
from from what we've seen and what they've been pulling back, is it surprising? I don't know. That's disappointing, but I don't know if it's surprising. I want to see if we get some more outlets here reporting on this too. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some more reports on it. As of right now, I don't know, man. I
It's
don't
hard
know.
getting the factual info. Seems like a lot of hearsay at this point.
Well, I mean, at this point though, too, I mean, I guess we could say the same thing with Aquaman 3, but at least comicbook.com's reporting on that, right? Like we just looked at comicbook.com, we just looked at the direct, who I consider to be a very, very rumor based sites, but even they're not reporting on it yet. And none of them are due to Marvel. Um, I don't know. So maybe it's rumor, conjecture. Maybe it's a couple people that didn't like it and just like, nah, I didn't like it. Um, but at the end of the day, too, we do have to remember that Disney only shows previews to their employees. That's how it goes out. That was the big thing too that Feige locked down. Feige locked down like after Spider-Man 3, they locked it down because they used to allow them to bring guests too, and now it is strictly and only Disney employees, and it goes out blanket. The way it works is that Disney sends out each week preview night. Who wants to go? And you don't know what movie you're going to see. They don't say it's going to be the Marvels. They don't say it's going to be the new Pixar. They don't say it's going to be the new live action adaptation of The Little Mermaid or whatever the shit it is this week, right? They just say it's going to be a preview. And all of a sudden, we get this. You're glitching again, by the way. Um, you get to go see a movie, and it's this. It's it's whatever it is, right? And to me, in my mind, I'm wondering. I don't know. I'm wondering. I'm wondering where it's going to go. I'm wondering where it's going to go. Yeah, he's in the Matrix. He's in the Matrix. Um,
They're listening to me.
I don't. I don't believe in crapping on people without being pragmatic about it. I can agree with that, Lefteros. In their defense, they had surging salaries and being forced to wrap it up fast. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Everybody became famous as heck from that show. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see, man. It's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to that. But that sucks. If the Marvels is going the route of Aquaman 3, then we don't have a lot to look forward to this year. Um, Back to beautiful, my friend. Um, Smooth as your hair. Um, yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, what? Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look in the calendar of disappointment. Right, I'm going to pull up the direct main page here because it gives us a breakdown of each movie and each show coming out. So let's take a freaking look. Let's take a peek here. All right. So on the right hand side, the MCU schedule: Ant-Man and Wasp,
And
disappointing.
really quick, I want to touch on this too because we talked about this yesterday. Left row. I'm excited about Secret Invasion. You know what the problem with that is? Is I thought I'm supposed to be excited about Kang. So
Yeah,
I feel like my attention and my energy is being pulled in 50 different directions right now, and I don't like that. I like how focused it was back in like phase 1 and 2. You knew
yeah,
that like it was Thanos, and every
laser
movie
focused.
fucking revolved around that.
Yeah,
Right now, I'm like, okay, we got Secret Invasion coming, we got Secret Wars coming. You know, like, come on, man, can we just pick one thing and just kill it instead of doing a bunch of things and being just okay at it, right?
yeah. No, I agree.
So, but I am
So
excited about Secret Invasion. I just wish it was coming out like after Secret Wars or something, you know, like
maybe it's supposed to have a lot to do. Um, Maybe it had a lot to do with Secret Invasion not coming out beforehand. Maybe it had a lot to do with the Marvels. Maybe kind of like Loki had to kind of set the stage a
I
little bit.
like I said, I honestly don't think Secret Invasion should be coming out right now.
Oh, I'm not saying you're
It's like
wrong.
a curveball that just isn't necessary. It's not the ninth inning yet. Like we don't need scrolls right now, bro. This is just gonna confuse the normal Joe Blow who likes to enjoy a movie. Like, I don't know.
So
And left, I originally gave it like a 7, but after talking to Jeff, I think I'm at like a 5,
yeah,
like a 6.
yeah, it's debatable. I'm like a
Well, it's
I'm at
just
like a I'm
I'm
at a
ignoring
3.54.
I'm just ignoring the the CGI puke fest that they put me through, and I'm trying to see like good story, good plot, good actors, like build up to the future. I just didn't get it.
Yeah. So I
Ah, look,
am.
we're like right there, bro. We're like right
Yeah.
there. See, I'm just
So
like, dude, you're Thanos. How you get beat by Ant-Man? Are you freaking kidding me, dude? When I saw Thanos, dude, he punched the crap out of the Hulk. Made him
yeah,
sound like a little girl, bro. Didn't
yeah,
even use a stone to do it. You see what I'm saying? That
yeah,
is a menacing freaking dude right there.
yeah. It was a bit rough. Would have been an 8 with Kang, so I get it. Yeah,
It would have, you know what it would have made it an 8? It would have made it an 8 if they killed Ant-Man. If Kang killed Ant-Man and just everybody else escaped back on accident or something, and then you got like the Council of Kangs thing, and that Kang didn't die, but he's like still alive, right? Or didn't get sucked into a sub pocket, whatever. This movie probably would have been an 8 or a 9.
yeah. It would have had some
8 or
weight
a
to it.
9, easy, bro. We would have walked out there and been like, "Damn, dude, did you see what happened to that? Ant
Yeah.
Man's dead, bro. All the Avengers are gonna assemble."
Yep. No, I
Like,
agree.
yo,
I agree.
then you could have had Cassie Lang rally the Young Avengers,
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Like he would come out of the microverse right when
bro.
it was ending. But yeah, yeah, it can't.
Missed opportunity.
What about What If? I didn't like the first season, so I don't know if I really care about the second one. I'm going to be honest.
I mean, I'm excited for the zombies.
Yeah, but that's not What If. That's a whole other
I
show.
know, but
I'm just
it's
going down the
because
list.
of
I
what
want to
if
see.
that we
I want to
got the
see. I want to see
zombies.
what we're excited about still.
Right?
Right. I'm
It's
just trying
because
to.
of what if we got the zombies. So I will tip my hat to what if and saying that's cool. I like that we got Peggy Carter. That was dope.
Yeah, I didn't care. I don't like
And
her.
so was freaking what's it called? Ultron, Infinity Gauntlet Ultron. I guess you can call him Ultron Prime, right?
Yeah, that left me with too many questions. Like
I
how could he go
love
through the
that version of
multiverse?
Ultron, bro.
How could all see that to me was like the biggest fuck up of the entire thing, right?
That's because
How
it's a
could
what if. It's not supposed to make sense.
I know, but like
What
those are
ifs what ifs
those
never make sense, bro.
those stones aren't supposed to work in other multiverses,
It's
right?
a
They
what
they're
if,
they're
bro.
paperweights.
It doesn't matter. It's a what if.
But those what if characters showed up in the MCU. Peggy Carter was there, bro. That's what I mean, right?
The
It
one that
gave
showed up in Doctor Strange
that's
is
still
not my
Peggy
Peggy
Carter.
Carter. Nope,
Uh,
that is a variant. That is not the one from the show. The one from the show would have fucked her up.
but
I'm
I,
sorry.
I don't
That
know.
not my Peggy Carter.
I
Not
just
my Reed Richards.
so that was to me confusing. That
That
was
was
to
not
me
my Black
confusing.
Bolt. Okay,
What
I'm sorry.
what
No.
if was young Aztecs?
Those
I'm
were
there
the
with you.
7-Eleven doppelgangers right there.
I was bored. I was bored. I'm with young Aztec on that one. I was bored with What If, but I think I would have liked it more if they had better animation and they did different animation styles, kind of like Visions, Star Wars Visions, the way they had a
Right.
different animation style each time. I might have I might have been a bit more interested in just seeing the different animation styles. I thought that might have been cool because you're like in different universes, kind of like what Multiverse of Madness did, where they visited different when they went through the broke
Well, to be
the
honest, I think
multiverse.
they
It
could
was
have picked a few better what if shows to do.
yeah. Oh, there's a lot better
Like
arcs.
that came out before Thor: Love and Thunder. Dare I say, probably would have been a great time to do Jane Foster picking up Mjolnir, like in the What If.
Or maybe,
Hey,
who is
full.
this gore guy? Maybe they should have spent more time teeing up some of these characters.
I mean, that would have been cool to introduce like a Silver Surfer. You know, hey, what if the Silver Surfer got the Infinity Gauntlet? People are like, look, what the fuck is they're showing Silver Surfer in a what if, bro?
I'm going to be honest. I'm looking at the Marvel calendar right now, and I don't really give a shit until Blade and
I
Deadpool
thought they
3.
canceled Echo and Ironheart.
They're just punted. They haven't made the change because they haven't given a definitive date yet. That was the original release.
Oh
But
god, they're
I'm
still
just
gonna
looking at
do
this
it.
entire list: Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, What If, Loki Season 2, X-Men 97, Ironheart, Agatha, The Marvels, Echo, Daredevil Born Again, Captain America New World Order, Thunderbolts. I care about this block here, 2024, a year and a half away. I care about Blade,
I
Deadpool
mean,
3,
bro, that
Marvel
whole bottom
Zombies.
half is what's up.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, Fantastic Four, King Dynasty, Secret Wars,
Hey guys, look
Armor
though, do you
Wars.
see it? There is a light at the end of the tunnel. We just got to go through a few more shitty stuff, and
Bro,
we are in the fucking
we've got a year
clear.
and a half of shitty stuff though. I'm concerned, bro.
Oh,
I don't
bro,
know if I
COVID,
can.
COVID should have made us ready and hardened by now, okay? If you
That's
guys aren't
true.
ready for more failures, I don't know what to tell you,
That's
okay?
true.
You guys should be ready for more failures, okay?
Damn it! When you're right, you're right,
If you're
and you're
not
right.
primed by now, guys, go turn on the news.
I'm ready. I'm ready for some other things. I'm ready for some other things. But unfortunately it's all way
I
the
have
hell
hope,
down
though. I
here.
have hope. Looking at all that, Fantastic Four, Secret Wars, even the Captain America 4. I mean, that's
I mean, it could be cool, but I don't
Spider-Man
know. I've
4.
seen
Bro,
what
Spider-Man freshman year.
I'm hopeful. I'm
That's going to be
hopeful.
everything right there.
I'm hopeful. All right,
You know,
Star
rumor
Wars.
has it, too, he'll be going to college with Johnny Storm.
Oh, see, I
Rumor
heard
has it.
and that could be, but I've heard too that Fantastic Four is going to have their kids. It's not going to be an origin story. Sue and Reed have have Nathan Richards.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Yeah, I spent like 20 minutes lamenting that at the beginning of the show.
Oh.
I said I don't want an origin story of the
Oh,
Fantastic Four,
please
but
give us no, 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 no. They need
I
to though
don't
because
need it.
they've never done a good one for them. That's the thing. It's not like you can say Spider-Man. They've never done a good origin. Yes, they have. And that is exactly why when we got Tom Holland, it was like, okay, we can just get right into this dance. We don't need to see that again, right? Same with
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, Superman, bro. That shit's been told forever.
Yeah, and Hulk,
Not the
right?
Fantastic Four, though. I'm sorry. They need an origin. This is your first family, right?
They're
We're gonna have
Feige
them for a
said
while, bro.
Feige said they're going to take this. They're going to take the Civil War approach, like with Spider-Man.
Son of a bitch, dude. See, look. He knows it.
Yeah, dude, I'm a Fantastic Four fan, dude. You know that. I've
Oh
got the freaking
no,
sweatshirt.
bro! Don't skip a step.
Yeah, I'm, I'm concerned about the family thing. The family thing's got me
Look,
concerned.
let
The
me write
family
this
thing.
shit for one movie, bro. Let me write this shit.
Yeah, they've never done a good Fantastic Four.
Never done a
Never.
good one, bro. They deserve a good one.
No,
The
no.
X-Men have gotten a pretty decent origin. I mean, you never got to find out where the X gene came from, but you definitely knew who Wolverine, Magneto, Professor X, you definitely knew where those characters came from and why they fight for what they fight for,
Yeah, I
right? I mean,
agree.
they definitely got a good origin for the three main characters. I mean, I guess you could have done a little bit more with Jean and Cyclops, but they even touched a little bit on them when they redid the first class and stuff. Like, you got a little bit of Cyclops and Jean's teenage years in there, you know? So, no, bro. Fantastic Four, dude. You got to start from scratch, man.
I don't need
Don't you
any of
show
their
me no kid
kids.
right off the bat.
I don't need their kids. I don't need
I
their
don't want
kids.
a kid off the bat,
Dude,
dude.
Reed Richards is already an absent husband, let alone an absent father. He's a shitty dad. Like anybody that knows the Fantastic Four,
Right.
Reed's always so wrapped up in himself. I mean, that's the reason why Sue can have Namor issues, Deadpool issues, all these other different issues that she has, right? Sue has them because she has a husband who's kind of a piece of crap when it comes to paying attention to their spouse. And I don't care what he can elongate into. It ain't keeping her. So, I don't want to see him be a crappy dad in the first movie we see. I don't want to see that. And I don't want to see either them trying to make him into a good dad because he's not necessarily ever been one, in my opinion. So, I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
upsetting. I hope they don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's try and get out of Marvel because we're just going to be mad the entire show. And unfortunately, I got to go pick up my kid here in a few minutes. So, I don't want to kill ourselves over Marvel because we still have to talk about DC. But Star Wars,
All right, I'm leaving.
come on, Star Wars.
I got about 10 more minutes, but I do have to go.
Star Wars. I'm excited about the Mandalorian. Young Jedi Adventures. That sounds like a preschool show.
And that's exactly how the fuck they should do the Fantastic Four right there.
What's that?
Don't even show the Fantastic Four first. Show Silver Surfer origin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd be okay with that.
Yep. At
I'm
the very
excited
end of the
for.
movie, it's like a post-credit scene. He's like flying to Earth,
I'm
and
excited
then
for. I'm
boom, you get
excited for seeing
Fantastic
Silver
Four
Surfer.
one origin. At the end of it, he shows up.
I'd be excited
Fantastic
for
Four
Silver
two.
Surfer.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, yeah, it's
Oh
confirmed.
fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Damn
I'm
it.
telling you, dude. Feige said it. I'm not crazy. It's confirmed that it's not going to be an origin story. They
Well, if
feel
he
like
said
it
it, I
failed
believe it.
because
He
of
is
it.
the same guy that said he's going to go out of his way to make more than half of the MCU female, and he has done a fantastic job.
It's happening, man. It's
All right, let's talk
confirmed.
about DC.
Well, okay, yeah. I think Star Wars is going to be good. I see a lot of stuff here I'm enjoying, and I know you're not as big as a Star Wars guy as I am, but I
I
know
respect it.
Visions, I'm really pumped for. I loved the anime show the first season. I really enjoyed that. That was cool. It was a breath of fresh air. This is what if should have been. This is what if should have been. To me, Ahsoka, I'm 100% there for. Skeleton Crew, I'm excited about. Um, so we'll see. But the Acolyte, oh, okay. That was some
A
news. There was
droid
some news.
story looks fantastic.
Really? I haven't seen it.
Especially if they do like R2D2, C3PO, and all that other jazz. Yeah, dude, that's
So,
that'll be like the Groot series, where like he wasn't talking, but you were just so entertained by him just being him.
So the Acolyte got the director and the creative team from Netflix's Daredevil working on it. That that sounds cool. This is before the Sith, the Acolyte. This is essentially about like that move. The Acolyte
Oh, Rogue
looks.
Squadron? I didn't even see that.
Oh yeah. And it's gonna be a
Okay.
World War II pilot like movie.
Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie.
Where's that?
The bottom.
Oh yeah. He's getting a Star Wars movie, but we don't even know when that's gonna happen. We don't know.
I heard a rumor Ren might be reprising her role.
Ren. Ray.
Ray, sorry. There you go, Star Wars fan.
I've heard somebody say that they thought Ray and Grogu were going to have a show or something like that after the Mandalorian, but I mean, she's so far after that. I don't know. I've heard lots. That's the thing too. Like I try to stay away from Star Wars rumors because it is a very it's a crazy if you think Marvel and DC people are nuts, Star Wars people we're really nuts. We go down lots of
Oh
rabbit
yeah, look,
holes.
they're right there talking about Gina Carano yet again.
Yeah, right. We're hella nuts in Star
Hashtag
Wars,
bring
man.
back Gina Carano.
We are hella nuts in Star Wars, man. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm there for the Rogue Squadron show. Acolyte sounds cool.
You know what they need in that lineup right there?
What's that?
It would probably be the number one anticipated show or movie on the Star Wars docket. Imagine something that just said lightsabers.
Well, I mean that is Visions, Ahsoka, the Acolyte, Rogue Squadron won't. Maybe Knights of the Old Republic remake, the video game they're making a show out of. and Star Wars Eclipse. Those are going to be all Jedi based for sure. Lando probably won't. That's going to be a scoundrels like thing. Droid story, who knows? Um,
Knights of the Old Republic, probably not.
Knights of the Old Republic is 100% going to be Jedi,
Oh, okay.
Jedi and Sith. Yeah, that's what the whole thing was based on. The video game where you got to choose your path. Knights of the Old. Those were the Jedi Knights, the Knights of the Old Republic. But yeah, that'll be
I
those.
think I
Those will
stopped
be
playing
lots of
Star
that.
Wars games after what was it called? Battlefront?
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic was way before that. It was like
Oh,
it
was
was
it?
like a yeah. It was kind of like a World of Warcraft thing, right? Where you got to build your character on a PC. It was PC
Hmm.
based.
Interesting.
It was
Oh,
back when
so it
I was
wasn't on Xbox?
bro. It was out when I was in college, so I mean, it was a minute
That's
ago.
probably
It
why I
was
didn't
before.
play
It was
it.
before the Xbox, right? So you
Jeez.
forgot. You're talking to an old man here. I got like 10 years on you, dude. It was before. It was before. But it was cool. It was hella cool. I mean, check it out. Check it out. Just type in like Knights of the Old Republic, the old game. Like there's a cult following of that game. People still play that. People still play that game. Um, but yeah. So the DC schedule. I don't know. I'm concerned, dude. We don't have anything to look forward to until 2024 outside of Star Wars for myself right now. If the Marvels is gonna suck, the Marvel in general may be sucking. I don't see. There's nothing here until 2025 that I'm like, this is supposedly awful. Maybe Blue Beetle. I want the Flash to be good because I want Michael Keaton in it. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work myself past Ezra Miller and wanting to vomit in my mouth every time I see him on screen. Because I just know what he did to the show. Joker 2 is going to be bad. I still haven't seen Joker 1 and everybody yells at me for it, so I know I need to.
You should
But
watch it at least one time.
yeah, I'm going to have to because I'm going to see Joker
I'm
2.
not saying you're going to enjoy it, but you should watch it at least one
I'm
time.
not saying you're going to like it, man, but you got to see it.
Well, it's one of my complaints with the Batman with Robert Pattinson. It's like it's a little too like real,
It's too
It's
real.
like,
Yeah.
and it's not cool real like the Christian Bale
It's
Batman. It's
depressing
like,
real.
ugh, I didn't know we were going here. I don't want
Yeah.
popcorn. I need a coffee, bro. This is
Yeah.
this is going somewhere I don't like to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, look, left and right. Yeah, watch watch the Joker. Make coffee. Don't eat popcorn for that.
Yeah. I've heard of a few scenes. I've
It
heard of a
just,
few.
I'm just like, dude, I like other forms of the Joker, not this one.
It's depressing. It's depressing,
It's
dude.
it really
Like the
is.
world
And then
sucks
and then
enough.
honestly, the one thing I do like about the movie is towards the end, you don't know what was real and what happened in this dude's head.
Oh,
So that's one thing I can really appreciate about a movie like that.
the I see
They
dead
definitely
people
go
kind of
down
thing.
that layer rabbit hole.
The oh no, the
They kind of inception your
the
ass.
Fight Club kind of situation too, right? You know, what was
Just
real,
like
what was
Fight
a
Club.
figment of his
Yeah.
imagination, and what was him really doing it. Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, maybe I'll enjoy it more than I thought I would. I don't know. At the time, I was just worried about being depressed after watching it because I heard of everybody talking about
No,
like,
I don't think you'll be depressed. I mean, just, remember one, it's a movie, and two, he doesn't even know if he did half that shit. So
I'm gonna
don't worry
remind you.
about it.
I'm gonna remind you about that next time you go on a multiverse of madness kick. Like Theo, remember it was just a movie.
But that was actually shitty, though. See what I'm saying? People actually liked the Joker. That thing made a lot of money.
Yeah, I
I'm just
know.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good that they are like, you know what? We can take a bomb. We'll bring in Lady Gaga, do a musical, and you know what? I bet you they'll still come to see Joker 3 if we don't do a musical.
Oh my
That's how
god.
much money that Joker movie made. When everything was getting cut off the DC bracket, that they were like, you know what? Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix, Joker 2, we're going to leave that because they like
Mind
number one so much. You see what I'm saying?
that we can make it. I feel like it was a dare. I feel like it was a dare. How like these people will obviously pay to see anything. How stupid can we
Oh,
possibly make it?
it's probably going to make stupid money just because it's Joker and Lady Gaga. I mean, you want to go see that just to see if it's shitty.
Are we gonna get like the Gaga heads, like the big huge Lady Gaga fans, like that like
Oh, you mean
love
like the
that
billions
last
of people
movie?
that go to those concerts? Can you imagine if they all show up to the movie theater to watch
Oh
that?
my god! Could you imagine? Could you imagine the horse shit we will get put through for the next few years with DC if it makes stupid Gaga money?
Oh, like if it breaks like 2 billion or some shit,
Oh my
but just puts
god!
Endgame to shame, all you'll get is
Oh my
musicals going forward.
god! Oh my
Yep.
god!
Young Aztec now, see? There you go.
Oh, they go Google for Gaga. Dear my god, please no, no, no.
Especially, and she's singing in this one, so I would
They're
assume
all
it would
singing,
bring
man.
it would bring some music fans.
Ugh.
But hey, bringing music fans to a comic book movie, is that a bad thing? Playing devil's advocate. I mean, more people the
I
merrier, right?
mean, but what comic movie are we bringing them
I said,
to,
yeah,
bro?
Lady Gaga fans.
Let's let's think about that for a minute. What kind of up movie of all the movies that we could bring Gaga fans to get them
Well, I'm just saying,
involved in
let's
these?
say Endgame didn't work because those fans are like, ah, you know what? That's too much capes for me. I don't want that. They might like this.
There's capes and there's crazy, man. There's a guy masturbating when his mom walks in. Okay, I mean I've heard about the scenes. I know. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Did I miss the Lord of the Rings talk? Damn it, Vin. No, we didn't make it there. We didn't make it there. I'm not pumped about anything besides the Flash and maybe Blue Beetle. I'm
I mean,
hopeful.
you know how
Everything
they could
else,
really get us excited? Like, no offense to Blue Beetle fans. Imagine instead of Blue Beetle, we're looking at Lobo. Like, imagine instead of looking at like Waller, we're looking at,
I'll do you better.
you
Young
know,
Justice. I would Young
Young
Justice.
Justice, Batman Beyond. Give me a Terry
Yes.
McGinnis, bro.
Yes. Young Justice. And but I mean this is one thing that Gunn did say too. This is the first part of the first phase and they've done 5. They've planned 5. But looking at the first phase, I don't see what I'm hype here for. I'm a Justice League Dark guy. I'm a Young Justice guy. New Frontiers, Superman, Justice League kind of situation. I enjoyed those things. Justice League Unlimited. I enjoyed Justice League Unlimited.
I
But I'm
like
looking at
the TV
this.
show Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, yeah. And supposedly that was inspiration for Gunn. Supposedly. But I'm like looking at this and
God, I hope so.
I'm like, but still, even in Justice League Unlimited, it's because you had the fucking Justice League core there. And then you brought in all the rest of them. It was expanding on the staples that were there. I would have rather have had these movies and then technically they exist. Fine. I don't need a Superman origin story. So this whole thing about Elseworld Superman
Yeah, I agree. Bring in some
and
Static Shock.
yeah,
Bring in some
and
Lobo. Bring in some Batman Beyond.
what's the other one that
Bring in the
the
Justice
Superman?
League, like the real Justice League.
I mean, just let him be. Just let him be there. Let him be in the universe, right? Like if we get introduced to the Lanterns, it's because Superman showed up for the first 5 minutes and said, "Hey, what's up, Hal? How's it going, guys? Welcome to Earth again. Whatever. Or Batman shows up, steals a ring, and nobody was paying attention. Jon Stewart punches him in the face. Cool, cool. But this
Okay, let's not get carried away here, okay?
what?
Plastic Man.
Oh, Plastic Man.
Let's
Oh,
bring Plastic Man.
well, at least he's entertaining. I mean,
He's kind of like Reed Richards almost, right?
but let's face it though too. I mean, you and I discussed Gunn in ad nauseum, but I know one thing we brought up last night
Deathstroke, bro. Bring in some
was the
Deathstroke.
nepotism of Gunn. Gunn had so much nepotism. He kept his wife with the Peacemaker, and he kept his brother that was somehow killed and then happened to live at the end of it, and he's now in Creature Commandos, and so he's going to be in the cartoon, and they're going to be showing up in the movies. He said Creature Commandos is the one show that the voice actors are going to be actors that are going to show up in the movies. So he's basically he's basically Nick Furying the Creature Commandos and his brother. I think it's kind of bullshit, personally. Boy, we are the most unhappy nerds on God's green earth this episode, bro.
This is the venting session, okay?
This is how we stay positive on the weekends when the panelists come in, so people want to come back and hang out with us. Well, maybe that's what we should rename it, from daily chaos to daily vent. Anger management. Maybe that should be the late show with Rage Theo. Anger management with Theo. New segment. Daily chaos.
I feel
anger
pretty. Oh, so pretty.
Keep singing it. Let's hear where it goes.
I'm good. Hey guys, we're at
Pretty and
640 subs though. If you guys aren't following, make sure you sub it up. Huh? Like this video, guys.
Phil is so angry.
We got a 500 giveaway coming up.
Oh, very soon.
Yeah, Phil's so angry now. What happened? Look at
that. he spoke to me on the phone before, and like, oh, it wasn't any good, Phil. You're being too nice. And here I'm just like, no, we're just gonna let it go. Let it all out.
So don't you feel better?
I do. It's cathartic.
Right? It feels better to let it out, guys.
I vented.
Those who sub, or those I was like those who sub, those who rage. It's medically proven they live longer than those that don't. It's not good for your heart, guys, to hold it in. You gotta let it out.
Subscribe, send nudes. Damn it, Vin.
Did you say send nudes? This fucking guy.
Damn it, Vin. I love you, brother. No, bro. Thank you for making it out. Great show tonight, guys.
I gotta go make dinner.
Conversation.
Always a pleasure.
There's definitely concern. At the end of the day, Comics and Chaos has concern about Marvel, DC especially. I don't have as much about Star Wars, because it's been meh enough. Like, it's been consistently inconsistent that I can't get overly scared and I can't get overly hyped. Marvel's been massively inconsistent after being probably the stalwart of the industry for years, and we all knew the fall was eventual, but you and I used to debate, did Marvel just set that bar so high that they just can't keep clearing it? There'll never be another Avengers. There'll never be another Endgame. I get that. But this is not clearing the bar. This is still just like being bad. Not meh, but bad. And DC, I mean, they're just in the middle of a reboot. I think you said it best. The movie I was most excited for, you crapped on that for me and made me debate it now too. There's no stakes. There's no reason to want to. You went and pulled a Jeff on me like he did on you. You're like, I don't need to care. It's going away. And now I'm just like, fuck, he's right. It's going away. Why?
I'm thinking tacos, Vin. I'm thinking tacos.
I'm not, man. It's sad. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
It's okay. Hey, you made me a little bit excited about Star Wars, so that's a win.
Yeah. And I think
he said Flash is gonna be good. LOL.
I think Star Wars. I think we've got some hope. And you know what? I'm looking forward to talking about the Mandalorian each week.
I'm gonna watch that tonight, actually.
Yeah. You want to talk about that tomorrow? Let's talk about it tomorrow.
As long as I can watch it and I don't fall asleep tonight, yes.
Well, I mean, you got tomorrow too.
Yeah, always a great time, gents. Always a great time, guys. Stay tuned for the 500 sub giveaway. We'll be posting on Instagram. We'll be collab tagging each other on that one. We'll probably post that one, I want to say, right after we do the giveaway that's up there right now for the FF Annual 2 on my page. You guys get a bonus entry for sub into Comics and Chaos. You just send me a screenshot. So if you guys haven't entered in that giveaway on Instagram, Rage Theo, make sure you do that, okay? That's open for like another 2 weeks.
Yes. And you know, Lefteros, maybe we should talk to the guys at Cover Price and do a Star Wars breakdown like we did for the DC one. Goodness knows we could definitely use your input on that. And if they're too busy, well then Lefteros, we will collab with you and we will make one, because there's nobody.
I like that idea though. Yeah, let's do another Cover Price spec there.
I'll tell you what though, Theo, I am 100% Cover Price, but there is nobody that knows more about current spec in Star Wars than Lefteros. 100%. I don't think there's a person in comics that knows as much Star Wars spec as he does. And that's ridiculous, because the man's all over it. So yeah, we'll have to be. We'll have
see
to
that,
be,
guys?
We'll have to be
everyone watch this on replay. He's in our chat. All right.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about it. Cough, cough. All right. All right. I'm gonna reach out to Matt, and I'll be in touch with you, Lefty, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Let's do that.
All right. Everybody, thank you for joining. Thank you for having a great night. See you again tomorrow night, 7 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, my friends, have a great night.